Alright guys, welcome back. As you can see, I'm doing a voiceover for my workout videos now. Make it easier to teach you guys, educate, instead of trying to talk through super labored breaths. But today we're going to start with dips. I've got 25 pounds in that book bag. Remember to go nice and slow. Nice and slow for all of these exercises. Remember, we are trying to learn to control the muscle, and we are learning to minimize the amount of force transferal from the muscles into the joints. Don't want that to happen. That is how you damage joints long term. And slower you go, and the more you learn to control your muscles under tension, the more control you have over your whole body. First failure there at 44 seconds. A good cue here to remember is to try and bring your knees to your chest during your dips. It's going to cause you to lean more forward, which is going to put more emphasis on your chest. It's hard to remember as you start to fail, but see how heavy I'm breathing, guys? Again, if you see me breathing heavy, none of this is actually indicative of the shape that I'm in. I know it looks like I'm in bad shape, but in actuality, it's very, very easy for me to pick up and run around like any other runner would who's trying to increase their cardiovascular health. These high-intensity training exercises are going to tax the ever-living hell out of your lungs and out of your heart. It is going to push you to your absolute limit, and then test to see if you're going to push it further. And it is my philosophy that the further you push past when it wants you to quit is where the real gains are actually going to be made. I think next time I do this exercise, I'm going to pick a slightly heavier weight, and instead of doing reps like I'm still doing here, I'm going to try and just slightly bend like right there, and then just hold it for as long as I can for one singular rep. Because your body doesn't actually need repetitions to grow. It just needs tension. Last failure at minute 56 seconds. See, look, this is only the second exercise. You guys can see me sweating. I got my freaking apartment set to 62, okay? This just goes to show you how hot and how labored your breathing can get when you're working out this intensely. So we are doing chin-ups. Remember to lock out at the top. Again, another decent cue is to bring your legs out in front of you, just like with dips. Not bringing knees to chest, but just legs out in front. This is going to angle you slightly more to where it's not straight up and down. It's a little bit more angled. But I also like doing this just because it's an easy way to get a lower ab workout without having to waste time to set aside for abs. I don't really train abs like that. First failure is at 32 seconds. One cue I always like to implement for these exercises, man, just as inspiration to dig deep, is to pretend that, like, if you fall, you're gonna die. Something below you is going to kill you. Whether it's a really long fall, or, I don't know, some animal's down there waiting to eat you. I don't care what it is. Just come up with a good reason as to why, in your mind, you need to hold on as long as you possibly can. If you guys are worried about my station being a little wobbly, don't worry too much about it. It's certainly not going to be my first or last pull-up station. But it's getting the job done for now. I'm just missing weights at the bottom of it, which is why it's wobbly. All those weights are on my bar. Here we go. There's 2 more to go before I fail. Or before my lungs force me to give out anyways. Oh no, that was the last one. 1 minute 14 seconds. Pretty good progress from up chin-ups. Now that I got 25 pounds. Alright, now we're doing upright rows. I like doing them with these little handles because what it kind of allows me to do, and if you can see, I'm trying to pull my fists apart at the top. It's kind of sort of, in a way, makes it a row. And, man, you'll really feel it light up your rear delts and your traps if you try pulling your fists apart. It's very difficult to do, though. Very, very difficult to do. 34 seconds for first failure. As you can see, I had to hold my hands together for this one. Of course, at this point, my shoulders are, they're already a little pre-exhausted from the dips. So, you know, you gotta prioritize one thing over another. Can't prioritize shoulders as much as dips. Because obviously, I want my chest growth to take a little bit more priority over my shoulders. Not to mention, if you smoke your shoulders first, then your dips might not be as good. So you're gonna, there's a lot of give and take to this, especially when it comes to organizing how you're gonna do things. But I prefer doing the compound movements first, and then isolating second. Not to mention the isolation exercises. They take a lot less out of you when you isolate in intensity than when you're doing compounds with intensity. It's just so much harder on the heart. Last failure, 1 minute and 16 seconds. Alright, here we're doing my suitcase rows, what I guess is what I'm going to coin them as. I freaking love these now. They smoke the rear delts and the traps. And as you can see here from my side profile, they even light up the middle delt. So this will work the majority of your shoulder. Don't worry too much about front delt. Obviously, front delts get hit in pressing movements, especially when you're going as slow and as intense as I'm teaching you. You will feel your front delt get destroyed in dips. So as you can see, I flipped it around here just to test it, and come to find out, I think I like this resistance curve better than going the other direction. So I'm going to start doing them this way. It's a little bit more difficult, but I don't know, the path just lines up with my elbow a little bit better. And as you can see, it also allows you to grab the weights to help you cheat, so long as the weights have handles. Alright, nearing the end of my upper body. First failure is at 25. Last failure is at 45 seconds. Easy upper workout day.